Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so sorry it's been over a month, maybe even 2 months since we last talked and since I've given you some content. So I'm back. It's just how it is. Surprisingly, I thought, of course, going in like at the beginning of COVID, I thought perhaps my life would be uneventful and quiet, but I ended up doing a full 180 with my business. So you guys know I'm first and foremost a destination wedding planner for adventurous couples. We do weddings in Utah and South Africa and Scotland. And it was like 2018 and 2019, I was living my best life as a wedding planner. It was so fun. We traveled a ton. But then it happened and I decided, and it was actually because mostly you wedding pros and creatives reached out to me and said, hey, I know you are good with Pinterest and you get clients from Pinterest. How can I do that for my business? So I decided to truly change everything up. And while we're still booking clients for our wedding company, I am passing a lot of those off to my team. So I decided that I kind of needed a break. It was really hard this year to, we had a lot of postponements. We have a lot of not a ton of cancellations, but mostly postponements. And it was a lot of work. And I just needed to kind of take a breather for maybe a year. So 2022, I'm not taking on as many clients, but my team is, and they're super excited. And I want them to travel and them to experience the amazing destinations that I got to over the last couple years. And I am going to focus on Pinterest. And I created a course, and actually maybe the last video I talked about my course. So I launched a course in April or May this year, and it went really well. I mean, it went well enough for a newbie educator, someone who's never created a course. And I know it's not aesthetically the most perfect course, but I think the content was really great and I eliminated a lot of the fluff. So anyway, if you guys want to check out that course, I will link it down below. It is getting a full facelift and relaunching in January for double or triple the price, depending on how much extra content I put in there. So you guys can get it now for $97, and after that in January, full revamp. So the other thing I started doing is we opened basically a Pinterest management agency. So it's under Gabby Pinkerton Co. And we not only sell the course for anybody who wants to learn how to do Pinterest on their own, but we also offer done for you services. So we take on clients who want us to manage their Pinterest account. So right now this is December 8th, 2020, and we have 6 paying clients. And you guys, if you are some of these clients that are watching this right now, thank you. This is beyond what I thought was possible. And with any new service that you offer, I get nervous, right? I really want to meet expectations, and I want to make sure the clients are super happy. So that was kind of our big pivot of 2020. I'm loving it so far. And I did notice that with this channel, you guys are most interested in how-tos with Pinterest. So I would love to kind of really go in that direction from here on out, is really focusing on how to grow your wedding and your creative business or your creative business by using Pinterest. There's a lot of stuff we can talk about. So you can expect tutorials, how-tos, Q&A answers, some of these videos I will be sharing my screen with you so you can see exactly what I'm doing and how I do it, because I think that's what I go to YouTube for, is exactly how to, and I need someone to show me how to do it on their screen. So, but today I want to talk to you guys about Pinterest do's and don'ts. And I think sometimes I go into creating blog posts and videos thinking you guys are all Pinterest experts, but you're not, and that's okay. And that's where I can be really helpful, is I want you guys to start from the beginning and take it one step at a time and grow to a point where managing your Pinterest account, it does not feel so overwhelming and you guys can totally handle it, or you can pass it off to us. So by the way, the course and our services will be linked below. So you guys can kind of check that out if any of those interest you. Okay, let me take a sip of coffee because this is gonna be a good day. It's strong. Pinterest do's and don'ts. Here we go. All right, so first, Pinterest do. Do be descriptive in all the areas that Pinterest gives you to enter text. I need to come up with a better title for that one, but here's what I mean. Pinterest gives you several places on its platform where you can type in text. Your profile name, your profile bio, your board names, your board descriptions, your pin titles, your pin descriptions. Those are the 7 main areas where you need to make sure that you're not just typing basic, generic information. You want to make sure you are targeting your ideal client in that text. If you don't know who your ideal client is and you don't know where to start, I have a super helpful Pinterest tip sheet linked down below. It is both how to find your ideal client, so asking you questions that you'll be able to answer and using keywords in those answers to add to Pinterest. So, for example, we're destination wedding planners for adventurous couples, and I know for a fact that my ideal client likes desert wedding. That's a keyword that I use. They like maybe adventure elopements. That's a keyword that I use. They're also very location based. So venue names, under canvas, Smoky Mountains, under canvas, Zion. So those are names that I put in kind of descriptions, pin descriptions, pin titles for sure, board names for sure, and board descriptions. So don't be robotic. I think once upon a time, there was the idea, and it did work back then, that you could do keyword stuffing. So it would just mean, let's say, destination wedding planner, comma, under canvas wedding venue, comma, wedding photographer, comma, like all of these keywords separated by commas. Pinterest doesn't want that anymore. So it used to work, so don't beat yourself up if that's what your Pinterest account looks like right now, but you've got to change it from here on out. So you can still use those keywords, but use them in full sentences or use them in a keyword style for your board names. Okay, so yeah, if you don't know who your ideal client is, just grab the client worksheet down below, and I have some Pinterest tips on there for you too. Just kind of screenshot view, or not screenshot, that's not what I meant to say, bird's eye view of what my best Pinterest tips are, and if you're just getting started, those are helpful. So grab that and start there. Okay, let's talk about a don't. Don't pin directly from Instagram unless you change your caption. Okay, I have a few things to say about Instagram. So if you guys don't know, you can actually connect your social media accounts from to Pinterest. So I've connected my Instagram and my YouTube. You can also connect Etsy and Shopify, I believe. So if you are product based, please by all means do that. Do connect your social media accounts, but be very careful, because if you are directly pinning your Instagram to your Pinterest, it is taking your Instagram caption all the way over to Pinterest. And I think most of us on Instagram are using like 30 hashtags or, more 10 to 30 hashtags. You don't need all of that on Pinterest. And in fact, most likely your Instagram caption is going to be more storytelling, right? Like on Instagram, I feel like I'm talking to my friends and I'm hanging out and I'm just telling funny stories or giving useful tips. But on Pinterest, I know that it's a search engine, so I'm being very strategic with my caption. And I'm thinking more, what would my ideal client search to land, for me to show up in their feed and for them to land on this pin? So don't copy that directly over. If you do not have a website or a blog where you can use those images over on Pinterest, and that's always what I recommend is, use your blog to have the content to bring over to Pinterest. But if you don't have that, or it's not ready yet, or you don't have enough, whatever the reason, sure, go ahead and use Instagram. But know this, Instagram photos are gonna show up as squares on Pinterest, right? And we all know that a vertical image on Pinterest is ideal. It's a 2 to 3 ratio that you need. So you want to limit how many times you do use Instagram. If you're just starting on Pinterest, sure, go ahead, connect your Instagram, move those photos over to Pinterest. and change your caption. But as you start working on your website and your blog especially, don't worry so much about Instagram and try to get those vertical images to link back to your blog post. That is truly how we're going to convert to clients, right? That's how we're going to convert, I guess, clicks to clients, is by driving traffic to your website. Do pin directly from your blog. This is literally what I just was talking about. It is the most effective way to turn clicks into clients. Now, it is also your responsibility as a business owner to make sure that your website is going to convert traffic. If you have a sucky website or a spammy website, people are going to bounce off right away. It's not because you get 100 clicks on a pin that you're guaranteed to get new business, right? It's going to depend on how awesome your website is. My dog is, of course, choosing the most squeaky toy to play with right now. This is not the time. So for example, we like to send our pins directly to our blog that says something that's helpful, right? So it's a blog post that maybe has how to choose your wedding veil, and we have some ideas. But we also could send them to a blog post that's like a full feature on one of our best weddings. So let's say we did want a Burning Man style wedding, and we want to have people get inspired by that. Now, I know that most likely the images there are going to get saved because they want beautiful imagery. And they may not click over to our contact page directly, but within the blog copy, we make sure that we say, hey, want to talk to us for free, 30-minute consultation, click here to book your appointment, or insert a freebie to get them on your email list. So want to know how much to budget for your wedding, click here to download our free budget guide. So at least from there, we get them on our email list, and then we can sell with that sequence, the email sequence. So there's a few different ways you can go about it, but do connect it to your blog or your website. Don't worry about your monthly views. So it's very interesting. It's what's called a vanity number. So when you go on Pinterest, you'll notice that it says how many followers a person has and how many views per, monthly views they have. And for us, for example, we get anywhere like 400,000 to 500,000 depending on our month. And at first that looks really amazing. You're so excited. And it is. It is important that we get monthly views. But the metric that I'm most interested in is how many clicks am I getting back to my website, right? Because I could get views all day long, but if nobody is taking action on my pin, then there's something that's not going right. So if you are just starting, I recommend take a screenshot of your analytics now. So some of you, if you're starting from zero, then take a screenshot of all the zeros, because I think that's actually kind of fun to watch. But if you've had a Pinterest account for a while and you've just kind of not had a strategy with it, then take a screenshot of those analytics, and once you implement the strategy, see how that grows. Now, yes, your monthly views will grow, and that's amazing, but take a look more at your saves and your clicks and see how that kind of goes. There's also a category that's called engagement. That is super important to look at as well. You want your engagement to keep climbing. It's not gonna climb as quickly as your monthly views, but as long as you are going up, then you're doing good. All right, the last piece of advice, the last do that I have for you is do use a scheduler. I mentioned this because I think right now we can easily get overwhelmed with all of the apps and social media accounts and SEO things and like all the stuff we need to do. And honestly, Pinterest does not have to be that hard. Once you are set up, you are just needing to create about 2 to 3 pins per day. Per day, you guys. It used to be like 25 to 50 pins per day. And people did that. I like maybe got to 15 pins per day. Now we're just looking at 2 to 3 new pins per day. I use Canva. Our whole team uses Canva to create pins with text overlay. I think I did a video about the 2020 Pinterest updates. Take a look at that. I'll link it at the end of this video so you guys can go to that one next, because there are new requirements for what it means to have a new pin. So take a look at that. But I use Tailwind. I will link it below. If you're actually watching this before January 1st, 2021, They are offering 50% off for the year for new users. So grab that link down below. It is my affiliate link, so I do get a commission, but it's no extra cost to you. It's literally paid by Tailwind, which is really cool. So grab that. You can also join my Tailwind community, formerly known as Tribes. You guys may have heard the Tailwind Tribes. They renamed it Tailwind Communities recently, and you can join mine for free. You can join up to 5, I believe, for free, or maybe the free account is 1. I have the pro account and I get to join 5. It is the reason my pins skyrocket, because you are sharing it amongst other people who have similar interests, and they repin your pins and share it to their whole audience. So it's a really great way to get new content, because you do have to support the other people and repin their stuff too. But anyway, I could go on about, I'll have to do a whole other video about Tailwind, but I love using that scheduler. Some people prefer to use Later. I've tried Later for Instagram. I've never used it for Pinterest, so I can't speak to that, but I've loved Tailwind. They also now have an in-app design section. So if you don't want to use Canva, you can literally, and I've tried this, you guys, you add your URL to your blog post that you want to start pinning images from, and it will pull the images into the app. And then all you need to add is a title, and it will create like 30 or 100, I don't even know how many. I never even went through all of them because I found enough for what I needed, but they'll create so many new designs for you. Sometimes you need to move them around just a little bit, but for the most part, I've literally just downloaded them right there and scheduled them in the app. So it's all in-house, and you don't need to go outside or kind of import images or do anything like that. So they also have stock images that you can use for free. So that's super helpful. Don't be afraid to use them. If you guys don't have enough of your content, but you still, like if you don't have a blog post, but you still want to drive traffic to your website, then use stock images, you know, just encourage people to go over to your website. Whew. I'm gonna take it. I probably over caffeinated actually. Oh, those are your kind of do's and don'ts. I would say my top do's and don'ts for using Pinterest. Again, if you're just getting started or you need to kind of figure out what your strategy is, grab my free worksheet down below. It's got Pinterest tips and how to help you find your ideal client. I'm also linking my Pinterest course for wedding pros and creatives down below, as well as my link to my services. So we do profile setup. If you guys want to manage your own account, we can go in and set it up perfectly for you, optimize it, get those keywords in right, and then you guys can take over from there. So I have a couple people that like to do that. We can also just do a strategy session. You want to pick my brain, ask the direction that you should go in, let's talk about it. You've got an hour with me just to chat. Or you can let us take over. So we do a 3-month minimum commitment. Some people sign on for 6 months. You get a bit of a discount. So try it out. I mean, it's worth a shot. I do tell people though, it takes a few months for you to start to see like true engagement and clicks back to your website. But I have, out of our 6 clients right now, we've already started working with 3. The other 3 just signed on, so we haven't gotten to their pins yet, but all of them have already gotten clicks back to their websites. Thank you for watching. I will be back next week if all goes well with recording these videos, and I will share some more Pinterest tips for you. If you have any questions or want me to do a video, please write that in the comment below, and please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. It helps a lot, and then I can come on here and spend more time with you guys giving you free content. All right, see you next week.